By the way, I love challenges. I think they just bring the best out of me.
Hello, everyone. Today we are joined by the lovely and ambitious Veena Ashiya, who's the founder at Monrow Shoes. She's had a very experienced career in the fashion space, has worked with brands such as Versace and Tommy Hilfiger, and we're so glad that she's been able to join us today.
Thank you so much, Deeksha. I'm glad that we're sharing this moment on Women's Day. So I think like a little chitter chatter, heart to heart.
As an entrepreneur, as a woman who's been able to scale up such a big D2C brand, I'm sure there were a lot of challenges and there were a lot of milestones. So talk to us about that.
By the way, I love challenges. I think they just bring the best out of me. When you're trying to actually build a product, how do you differentiate a product, right? Shoes is a very long category, in fact, among the older categories, right? So we literally had to spend 6 months on the research development, right? Like we scanned Indian women feet to understand the shape and all of that, right? When you do such a deep dive research into the category, sometimes as a young company, you're like, "Arey, product kab banayenge?" Right? Like, when are you going to make the product, right? But I'm very glad that we took a very patient approach, right? So I think that was a challenge. Second challenge, I think, I would say ensuring that my passion towards the space doesn't burn me out. I think very few people know this about passion, and it's called passion paradox. That fire in your belly can actually give you acidity also. So I think even I had a journey where I had to own this passion, aggression, this fire in me, right? Without burning myself.
Talk to me also about why did you pick shoes, in fashion. I know that you've been someone who's a pioneer in that, but why shoes?
This whole concept of looking good without any other deeper benefits of it just didn't strike me, right? And I think the same thing is with makeup, or the same thing is with looking good. Like I just don't want to just look good for the sake of it. I mean, it has to make me feel good, right? So I think this intrinsic emotional need of mine to be just comfortable got me here. The second, in a category like shoes, it's very possible to build stickiness. And so you go to a brand, it serves you well in terms of design and fit, you tend to go back. Because the cost and inconvenience of trying new brand in a category where even half an inch or like a quarter of an inch can irritate you, right? So the Marwadi in me had said that, look, where there's stickiness, there's money.
Veena, you've been a part of the startup ecosystem. And over the years, I'm sure you've also seen it evolve. So, what do you think has changed from back then to now in terms of opportunities or challenges?
Direct-to-consumer brands getting attention now also opens up a lot of opportunities for women, because whenever you are catering consumers, there's women consumers, right? And who can understand women consumer better than women themselves, right? So I think some of these categories emerging, which are for women, clearly opens the door for women, right? It'll be very hard to buy in an IIT 25-year-old making women's shoes more comfortable. It's very hard to buy that story, right? Also, I think some of the more mature spaces like fintech in India particularly is seeing a lot of banking skilled women coming in. I also think this Me Too movement is also helping, right? Think about it. Look, whenever you go about raising money, it is slightly power skew, right? So you're a little worried, you're a little skeptical, whatever. But with Me Too movement, absolutely leveled out playground.
So, talk to me about what are some of the changes that you would expect the banking system to undergo for them to become more startup friendly.
right? So now there are a lot of institutions that give you debt based on your revenue. It's called revenue financing, right? So I mean, if I was a bank, I could see this opportunity, and like how in like a very classy investor term, TAM is big enough now, right, to come in and actually build a product around it. So I think revenue-based financing products, this is the right time to launch, right? I also feel with a lot of digital media spend happening, figuring out credit cards, which are a lot more friendlier for that, can really help. So how about slightly more customized credit cards for emerging businesses that spend on digital media?
And I think what you said completely makes sense, right? Our spends are becoming digital, our businesses are becoming digital. So it just makes sense to kind of imbibe those and, make it as part of banking practices. Brilliant. How do you feel this entire virtual shift of work? Has it been a positive for you as a woman founder, or has it had its negative connotations too?
I am building a hybrid model, right, where there'll be a certain part of our team that will be in the office, because they also like it, right? They also get a lot of satisfaction seeing their hard work coming into shape. But also build a vibrant Gen Z population of workforce working with us, but remotely, right? I see a lot of power in harnessing this hybrid model, right? It will be a bit hard for sure, but I see how this can bring about a lot of flexibility as a company if somebody wants to join us also, right? Like it's exciting that you could be sitting in Goa and working with us.
You just have access to such a larger talent pool. You're no more confined by geographies. And I think that just helps bring in such a diverse perspective, right? Especially for something like design. Veena, I know you're someone who has been able to achieve and scale heights when it comes to building a D2C brand, whether it is being one of the companies that got funded out of three via Bloom, or just generally how you've been able to establish that strong, sense in the entire footwear category. So talk to us some of those achievements that you are really proud about.
Our first customer at Monrow bought, and right after 9 days, she bought another pair of shoes. Wow, and I was like, what? What happened? She bought another pair of shoes, and she particularly had pinged us on social media saying, hey, I love the fit. I would like to have more of it. I realized the power of what we are building, right? And it's beautiful to see some of these early signs, right? Vogue had done a shoe closet feature of Katrina Kaif, and I read like Christian Louboutin, and I see Jimmy Choo, and I see Monroe. I'm like, whoa, what? Right? And I was like, wow. And I mean, these are joys, right? Like, and when you're not expecting, I realized the power of social media is there. Stylists are watching you, editors are watching you. If you do good work, you get mentioned, right? Stars are watching you, right? And I'm very glad that, Katrina appreciated that it fits great. Hey, I want to wear it, right? That also shows a very versatile celebrity base in India, right? Who are no more stuck to, let's say, a few brands which approves their own branding, but are very open to exploring their own taste in shoes, right?
Veena, thank you so much. This has been super insightful, but I'm not letting you go so soon. Tell us that one thing that keeps you ticking. What's your business mantra? And, we hope that a bunch of us listening here can take inspiration from that.
My business mantra would be to listen and to calculate. Always keep listening, right? Listen what your consumers are saying, listen what your team is saying, listen extremely well, and calculate. And what I mean by calculate is understand different factors and variables that are coming in, whether it's your costing, whether it's your finances, calculate, right? Because this is how you build a flow. You listen to something, you process it, and you calculate, and then you execute, right? So listen and calculate.
Veena, thanks a bunch. You have definitely inspired me on Women's Day, and I'm sure so many more out there. Um, the entire ethos behind doing this was to show that yes, there are amazing founders that are also women. They just happen to be women that exist, and it is not impossible for more and more women in our country to actually take to entrepreneurship, right? And actually, you can say, narrow the gap that exists, because I think entrepreneurship is a great way to achieve that, um, equity in the society that's currently missing. So thanks so much for your time today, Veena.
Deksha, thank you so much for, bringing our voices out, because it does matter, right? The more we listen, we see some examples, small, big, whatever, right? Currently, we have dearth of examples. So thank you so much. Thank you for hearing me out.